This video I had to make on the topic of the reloading component crisis, but I had to make this video just specialized about the fact that I've heard about companies that manufacture smokeless powder, Alliant and all these other ones, that have announced that at a certain point in time they're going to stop producing smokeless powder for, I guess, what you would call the retail market or the reloading retail market, which is what, when we go to a store, what we buy here, something like this, I've heard rumors, and several people have brought this up during chats and everything else. And I didn't want to make a video until, I found out what was going on. And this is not like the other things. This is not a price increase notice, which a lot of people discuss that. And all the companies issue one in January, February, about how the prices of their products are going to go up. That's something all the retailers receive from the company. This isn't that. They've just flat out said, we're no longer producing any gunpowder for this market, which is the civilian retail reloaders type of thing, And we'll discuss the reason, but the thing is, I've got a few things up on the computer, and the reason I didn't want to make this is until I found something that was tangible, or something written, published somewhere other than just hearsay rumor. Somebody said if you go to this website, there's a notice, which I couldn't find. But we'll zoom in here on the computer. Now, some of it, there's several of these things I pulled up that are bullshit, okay? But I did pull up one from Hodgdon, because Hodgdon, when people complain and that, they try to answer the questions and talk about it. But again, it's not the same thing. Alright, so I'm going to zoom in here and get the camera set up, and we'll look at what I found. Hopefully you can see that, but what I did is I just typed in a Google search, "Are manufacturers going to limit smokeless powder sales?" And it came up with several things. Now at the top of the list, AmmoLand Shooting Sport News is probably the best one to check on this, okay? There's Outdoor Hub. There's several different places that publish this question, and like this one here, Gallery of Guns, Gunpowder Shortage 2024 an update, and he just gives you the listing here of how they're gonna, but it says Alliant powder 10% limited availability. Okay, 10% increase, limited availability. Okay. Behind schedule, not being able to keep up. And here we go, world events at play, Russian-Ukrainian war, the other war in the Middle East, rampant global inflation, sharp demand, all contribute to this shortage. Where there are dozens and dozens of ammunition manufacturers and brands, there are very few suppliers of the raw material necessary for manufacturing ammunition. Powder, of course, is needed by everyone, and the bottleneck can cause dramatic swings in both pricing and availability. Okay, so this is my first one here. What is this here? Anticipate shortage. Unprecedented demand. Yeah, this one here really doesn't describe much. He just kind of generally talks about it, shows a lot of pictures, posts the same thing, increase from Alliant powder and limited availability. So, and this is Outdoor Hub. This isn't that, you know, in depth. But we'll discuss the main thing. Now we'll go to Hodgdon. Now, Hodgdon, I mean, they try to answer, and they've done this in the past when ammunition shortages were there. Okay, and why are the shortages and high prices? As any hand loader knows, reloading powders become, you know, popular. Reloading powders have been difficult to find and the price increase. And it says, what gives, why are powder prices high and what shortage on? And it says Hodgdon. Hodgdon supplier of Hodgdon, IMR, Winchester. I guess they're all under one conglomerate, so you're only dealing with one place. But they do import powders from Australia. My buddies in Australia mention this. The ultra popular H4198, H4895 Varget, which is a great powder, H4350, and H4834 are powders produced by ADI in Australia. So it says we're not shipping any more Varget or H4350 in the US until we can get some from Australia. Okay? So it does all these questions. Why can't it ship any more powder? And you know, they said unprecedented demand, they just can't do it. Why don't you build another plant? That was back in the 22 shortage. Everyone, why don't you just build another factory? Well, you know, earlier this year and last year, the end of last year, the market was flooded with ammo. Certain types of ammo they overproduced and people weren't buying them. So now you had to think, if you spend $1 billion building a new factory and you can't sell the product on a steady basis, that's why they're not going to build another plant. And it says, why is Hodgdon selling to the government? It says it doesn't sell directly to the government, but it sells to companies who manufacture ammo for the government. Powder to ammunition. Yeah, okay, it says, why is Hodgdon selling powder to ammunition manufacturers? The heart of our business is smoking powder, or smokeless powder for the hand loader. Yes, we sell some to ammo manufacturers, but that is a small part of the business. You know, every day we receive calls from OEM customers. Because Hodgdon, I guess, specializes in that. And something about auction sites. He said, we don't sell it on auction sites. And he's asking, why is it so high? And, you know, again, standard things. So that's their answer to it. Okay. I didn't know this about Hodgdon. But it's the same story. Now, when we go to, and this is the one, Ammo Land shooting. Okay, we get to the Ammo Land thing. It just says in the headlines here, Alliant Powders suspend shipment of smokeless powders for reloading. Okay, and if you read through the article, it's come to my attention that Alliant Powders has recently suspended shipments of its smokeless powder for reloading. Alliant is a source of old standards, okay, the powders, Bullseye, Unique, 2400, and the Reloader series, which is good powder. And it cites here that world pressure because of the ongoing conflicts and wars. Materials used to make propellants for artillery rounds are the same as those for small-arm propellants. Many countries are ramped up. Alright, sorry for the interruption. But again, so it states the war. Primary production bottleneck is nitrocellulose. Now we'll discuss this once we're done looking at this. Nitrocellulose for propellants can be obtained from various plant fibers, forest product, but cotton is the one. The bottleneck is the plant's capacity to convert cotton into defense-grade nitrocellulose. Okay, Alliant by Vista Outdoors, CCI Remington, Alliance sources its propellants. Alliant sources its propellants from Sweden, Switzerland, Canada, and Radford Army Arsenal in Virginia. Because the ammunition manufacturers under Vista's umbrella are stressed in obtaining propellants they need for their production, Vista appears to have made the business decision to commit all of Alliant's propellant capacity to Vista ammunition manufacturers. Thus, Alliant withdrew from shipment of solid and sold propellants, withdrew from shipment and sold propellants from reloading. Okay, so it's basically saying, I don't know how that's worded, it's fucked up. But they withdrew from shipping or having anything available for reloading. Okay, commercial retail. The ammunition marketplace seems to be recovering from the shortage of loaded ammunition and small arms primers. Prices are relaxing. However, Alliant's withdrawal from the reloading powder market will likely stress supplies of propellants for reloaders. Further, reloaders who have worked up, and use a favorite powder I'm using, may need to shift to other brands. Now, here's the key thing, and this is like with Starline Brass, okay? How long Alliant's absence, or how long will Alliant's absence from the reloading marketplace may last, or how long the absence of Alliant from the reloading marketplace, how long will it last? And it says is unknown. The tone of their announcement is until further notice, and it may be assumed that this will continue until the military demand for nitrocellulose reduces or the process of cotton into defense-grade nitrocellulose increases. Neither of these are likely to change dramatically anytime soon. Okay, now this is about the best information I have. So, alright, so not all of them are, but Alliant is. Alliant just said we're going to dedicate our manufacturing to other parts of our company other than the reloaders or the retail market for reloading. Okay, so, and that is only like, what do they say, 12% of their business, okay? Where Hodgdon appears to supply to commercial or large reloaders some powder, but Hodgdon basically is, I guess, in that retail reloading gunpowder business. So, and again, the war, and a lot of the powders that Hodgdon sells are imported from other countries. And strange thing is, I have gotten an email just today, before I made this video, from a guy from the UK or England, however you want to call it. And he's asking me, he said that American-made powders they're not here. They're non-existent. And they're not going to show up anytime soon. He said, I'm reloading for like 7.7 Jap and another military cartridge. And he told me the powder he has. And, really, I don't know where he's going to get load data. He's going to have to, because he's looking for published load data using his powder. And I don't think it's going to happen, because a lot of the load data for them cartridges I have is 40 years old. And it's all IMR powders. Okay, so yes, this is a global problem, and if we're importing these powders, like Hodgdon is, you don't know the situation in other countries or how things are done there, and if they're diverting everything to produce military-grade small arms ammo or artillery shells, then they're not going to worry about its small percentage of what is produced for the commercial market. So this looks like, and there, you know, it's not a shortage. They're just not producing. Some of the companies, Alliant, is just not producing the powder until further notice. And we all know this one conflict has dragged on and will drag on for years. And now we have these other conflicts, and they're talking about this war escalating and growing in the next few years. So this is where you're going to say this is not a shortage, this is not a delay, like I mentioned some of the other things, or we're not shipping that much this year, but maybe next year, okay? No, this is, it's stopped at this point. You know, and I asked around, and one guy, well, I can get anything I want, I still find it, Nancy, and what we don't realize is the stuff that is on the shelf today, what I had in my hand, that was made a year ago. By the time it's processed, packaged up from the factory, taken to a distributor, sorted all out, then getting to either a retailer. Some of that I buy from online retailers, okay, not local. Some of them are local, some of them are online. You know, large names that sell all kinds of reloading tools and components. But generally, that powder, and I read, you know, I can look at the codes, it's a year old by the time it hits the shelf. Okay, that's how long it takes ammunition, powder, and that to get to your shop, store, where you can put your hand on. It takes about a year to go through the system. So they're announcing that now. Where you're going to see where there's no powder is going to be sometime coming into the next year, if not sooner, if people wise up and just start buying whatever they can. Okay, because I myself, you know, 8-pound jug of powder used to be $130, $140, so buying 2 or 3 of them wouldn't be that bad on a credit card. You know, buying 2 of them was like $300 and some. All right, I just bought a couple jugs of powder, and it was, you know, at the time $700, 7 and some change, $730, $740. If I did find that powder and bought those 2 8-pound kegs again, it would be in excess of $800. It'd be $830 or $40. Okay. And I kind of did overextend myself, but I got my hands on something, because it looks like if the one company did it, Hodgdon is already saying they get it sourced from outside the U.S., so that's why Vargate is non-existent, unless they can get through their channels, through their suppliers, material. It's not going to happen, but it's looking like there's just not going to be powder available. Okay. That's why I made this video, and you know, it's already coming out now. I mean, I heard rumors, I didn't want to say nothing, and like one guy called, he said, well, I drove down to that one big shop, you know, it's a half-hour away, and I found what I needed. I said, well, that's now. What about 6 months from now? Once, you know, it's never going to get replaced here indefinitely. So that's what I found out about the situation, and it don't look good. So I just wanted to make this video, discuss it a little bit with you guys. I know a lot of the people that subscribe to my channel, anything like this about shortages and reloading components or ammunition and that is a topic that they look for. So that's why I had to make this one. You know, and check out the other one I just make in general about the reloading component crisis and shortages. Alright guys, hit the like button, subscribe, and stay tuned. Okay?